Today on Eagle Nation News, Caitlin Wessels reports on George Washington Carver's impact on agriculture in the whole world and how it goes far beyond the peanut.
Like most high schoolers, Prosper High School sophomore Bucky McAlpine has a full day of school, work, and sports. Jake Fine sat down with McAlpine to find out how his passion nearly ended in tragedy.
Ashley Parscale is here with senior Emily Keegan-Wolf to discuss Trojan Women. What can we expect from theater's latest production?
All this and more today on Eagle Nation News.
Live from Prosper, Texas, this is Eagle Nation News.
Good afternoon, Prosper High School. Today is Thursday, February 22nd. I'm Jake Fine.
I'm Sola Cantai.
And I'm Brandon Bonaparte.
Last week, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas students shielded themselves from the gunfire of an assailant. This week, they're pushing for gun control. Sola, you have more?
Thank you, Jake. The student survivors of the Florida high school shooting last week have banded together, going as far as sleeping on cots in the Tallahassee Civic Center and marching to the Florida Capitol building to urge lawmakers for gun control reform. Students from all across the country have engaged in various tactics to raise awareness for the cause.
If you are interested in taking an AP exam this year, online registration forms are available until next Wednesday at 4 p.m. The cost of the exam is $96, but as extra incentive, all students who earn a 5 or a 4 on any AP test will receive $100. Visit the Prosper ISD website to register for your exam.
As Black History Month draws to a close, Caitlin Wessels reports on George Washington Carver and his contribution to the agriculture world.
When we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome.
George Washington Carver, an African-American inventor, botanist, chemist, and scientist, is best known for his inventions of products created from peanuts. His active promotion of alternative crops to cotton helped prevent soil depletion by restoring nitrogen to the soil, increasing production, and improving poor Southern farmers' diets and lives. Even though he was known as the Peanut Man, Carver did not invent peanut butter. He did, however, act as a prominent figure that broke barriers for many African-American scientists to come. Carver became successful through determination and hard work. Born into slavery in 1864, Carver had to break stereotypes to study to become one of the most prominent scientists and inventors of his time. At the end of the Civil War, Carver was able to attend several schools, eventually attaining his high school diploma in Minneapolis, Kansas, and bachelor of science degree at Simpson College in Iowa. After graduating, Carver dove into research and teaching, eventually running Tuskegee Institute's agricultural department. After spending some time at the Tuskegee Institute, he went on to become one of the most famous and prominent African-American scientists of his time. Even President Theodore Roosevelt and scientists abroad admired Carver's work. He was made a member of the British Royal Society of Arts in 1916. An icon of achievement for the African-American community, Carver led the way for hardworking African-Americans and embodied the power of education and resilience. For Eagle Nation News, this has been Caitlin Wessels reporting. Prosper.
In our eyes when we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome.
Thank you, Caitlin. When we come back, Bucky McAlpine recounts how he was able to bounce back from a life-changing accident.
Mu Alpha Theta is selling pies on March 19th for Pi Day during all lunches. Boys Volleyball is having an informational meeting Tuesday, February 27th in the small gym. Tickets are on sale in the library for $15 and the attire at the dance is casual. Seniors, please turn in your senior activity sheet to Miss Hamlin by Friday. Now through February 28th, you can drop off $10 fast food gift cards in the counseling office.
Bucky McAlpine is a sophomore here at Prosper High School who, on top of being a normal teenager, takes his talents to the rodeo. McAlpine shares his story on how a normal practice ride turned into a rush surgery and 3 days in the ICU.
They're called the most dangerous 8 seconds in sports for a reason.
It started off fine until it got bad, and then bad became worse.
Prosper High School sophomore Bucky McAlpine splits the time in his busy schedule between a rigorous course load, 2 jobs, and national-level hockey practice. And while that's nothing out of the ordinary, add in bull riding, and Bucky sets himself apart from the typical teenager. Bucky grew up in Montana until 2010, when his family moved to Texas to further his older sister's gymnastics career. Bucky, also an avid gymnast, competed at the local, state, and national levels multiple times. Just 6 years later, Bucky would find himself trading unitards and chalk for cowboy boots and flannels. In 2016, Bucky retired from gymnastics to shift his focus onto bull riding, a sport he quotes as a constant battle between life and death, until the afternoon of December 10th, 2017, when he almost lost that battle.
It started off like any other Sunday. Me and my dad had to take a 3-hour drive up to Oklahoma, get on 2 or 3 practice bowls. On my 3rd one, I was feeling a little bit nauseous, not feeling like as comfortable as I was on the first 2. And then that's when they opened the chute and I rode it for 1 turn, and then second one it dipped pretty low and got me over my hand, and it threw me on the ground and then stepped on me.
Bucky scrambled away with broken ribs and a punctured lung and was being transported to a hospital when his sister Cassidy got the call with the bad news.
So I was at my little brother's hockey game, and at the time my dad, he was in Houston, and he calls me and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Well, why wouldn't I be?" So then I called my mom. I was like, "So what's happening?" And she was like, "Well, right now we're going to the hospital. They think they're gonna have to put a breathing tube in." Shortly after, he started bleeding internally, and so then obviously that's a problem. So then later that night he was rushed to surgery because he had to get his spleen taken out. So it was kind of scary because we didn't know if he was gonna make it.
When I was in ICU, the first time the doctor came in, he was talking to me about all my injuries, and then I stopped him like halfway through what he was listing my injuries off. The day after, I was ready to get back on again and just keep going.
And after a few months of recovery, Bucky finally got that chance. This past Sunday, he traveled back up to Oklahoma, the site of the accident, to return to the sport he loves. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Jake Fine. When we come back, Ashley Parscale sits down with theater actress Emily Keegan-Wolf.
Now, Ashley Parscale joins us in studio with Emily Keegan-Wolf from the Prosper Theater to discuss their upcoming production of Trojan Women.
Thank you, Sola. I am here with theater student Emily Keegan-Wolf. Thank you for joining us today. Emily, you are a part of Trojan Women. Can you give us a brief summary of this play?
Trojan Women is about the aftermath of the Trojan War and the women who have been abandoned.
Why did you guys choose Trojan Women to perform?
We compete with the show, so it's really strong to go into competition with, and we can do a lot of creative things with it. And we were all really interested in the Greek mythology aspect.
Well, good luck at competition. And in this play, what character do you portray?
I play Helen of Troy, and she's basically the whole cause of the war, and it's a super interesting part to play.
And when and where will you be performing?
We have public performances every Thursday at 6 o'clock in the auditorium.
Well, good luck to you and the rest of your cast, and break a leg tonight. That's all the time that we have. Back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Ashley. Now we send it over to Ryan Ranzer in the Eagle Zone.
Thank you, Brandon. Tomorrow, boys wrestling is in action competing at state. And also tomorrow, girls soccer will play at home at 7 against Little Elm. And boys soccer will play at 7:15 tomorrow night. And at 7:30, boys basketball will compete against Roy City. That's all I have for you today. I'm Ryan Ranzer, reporter from the Eagle Zone. Back to you, Sola.
Thank you, Ryan. That's all the time we have for you today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Sola Cantai.
I'm Brandon Bonaparte.
And I'm Jake Fine. Live long and prosper.